starters on the special teams?
Yes, we always have and always will. You have to be smart in that if one of your guys is a guy who cramps more readily than some others, and it's a real hot night, which it probably will be, then you can put him on special teams, but you're probably pulling him out at the end of the first quarter. So one of the things we will be doing this week, we'll be looking at substitution plans, which we'll try to formulate by Thursday. But another thing, even on offense and defense, but we also have to look at substitution in the kicking game and look at who we feel like can be out there the most. And you've got problems with double numbers. The NCAA will not let you have two guys on the field at the same time with the same number. So that's something we're all going through right now to try to figure out who we can change. And usually the younger guy has to change his number. Christian Scott did it last year, but that's something that will help us in the long run.
Coach, you mentioned the Arkansas State game a few years back. Last year, you guys seemingly, every game that you were supposed to win, you did win big. What's the difference between those games and a game like Arkansas State, where obviously talent on your end is probably better, but the end result would make it seem that it wasn't?
Well, we felt like at Arkansas State that we jumped out, but we didn't finish the game. Again, we were ahead 21-3 at halftime, didn't score in the second half, and that's not who we are. And football is, you better have a huge mental edge in the game, and you can't listen to those around you. You have to prepare yourself. And as we've learned here, that every game is important. Every game has the same weight, because we've said around here sometime the only big games here are the ones you lose. And so if that's the case, we don't want many big ones.
Mack, you had an opener back in 01-02 where you scored a lot in the first half, didn't score in the second half, kind of like what you're talking about with Arkansas State. Do you, the way you study your own game, do you go back and look at the way you prepared for those games compared to the way you prepared for the other games? You really dominated for the whole 60 minutes.
Yes, we've had three poor openers since we've been here, I think. We lost to NC State because of block kicks. We didn't score against North Texas after it was 27-0 at halftime. And then 3 years ago against Arkansas State. Against Arkansas State, we weren't a very good team for the first half of that year, and we came out of it and played well, but we didn't play well for the first 3 or 4 games there. I thought we looked tired during that ball game, and we just didn't have the attitude to finish. I think that was 07, I believe. And then you go back to North Texas. That was before we had the bubble in NC State. I thought we looked really tired in both of those games. And at that time, we thought we were out of shape. And looking back, we didn't have our indoor area. I think what we did is we worked so hard out in the heat that the guys were really, really tired. So we feel like, watching practice this morning, the guys bounced around. They were quick. They're excited about the game on Saturday. And this is a team that's been waiting a long time to play, like everybody else, but they're excited about this game.
Coach, what's the Colt being a four-year starter meaning so much to this team and this university? You know, what has it been like, or what do you suppose it'll be like Saturday to watch him open his senior year?
I actually told the players the other day that I hope they realize they're playing with the most accurate quarterback in the history of college football, and that they need to enjoy it and embrace it, and the defense needs to get off the field as fast as they can so we can get Colt back on, and the offense needs to really appreciate him and what he's doing, and the offensive line needs to block well for him, and the better we can run the ball, the better we'll pass protect. But we need to really enjoy him being here, enjoy his success, and make sure that we don't take him for granted.
Coach, there's been plenty of talk about Colt's leadership from Jordan and some of the obvious guys. Can you talk maybe about a couple of players that have given you, have become leaders that maybe you didn't expect, but that you're happy about?
Yes, Chris Hall, Adam Ulatowski up front are doing a great job of trying to lead. Colt is without question. Jordan outside with the receivers, and then you move to the and I think Vondrell stepped up and doing it with his toughness. He doesn't say a lot, but he's really been aggressive and tough. You go over on the defensive side of the ball, and it's Sergio, Sam Acho, Lamar, McElroy. Jared's trying. He just was hurt, and it was a little bit slower getting started. And I do think that Earl Thomas and Blake Gideon both in the secondary.
What's the plan for Garrett in terms of backup, and then how anxious are you to try to get him on the field?
We would like to get him on the field, and we will talk about that on Thursday. because Greg and I have talked about it some Saturday, and we mentioned it again this morning. But we've got to be fair to our team, fair to Colt, and try to get Garrett reps. So that's that balance of when you put him in. Sometimes in the past we've put a quarterback in the third series or the fifth series, or tried to get them in the first half. And the most important thing is you win the game, and then you'd also like to get Garrett some quality snaps.
Do you expect Bozzy Saturday?
He practiced this morning, but we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, Vondrell would be the starter, and Cody would back him up.
Mike, you mentioned that about Mondrell, his aggressiveness. Was that something that guys kind of told him to do, that they really wanted him to become more aggressive, or was it something that he kind of just stepped into that role?
His success on the field, I think, is allowing him to do that more, because he worked so hard this summer. They gain a lot of respect with each other over summer workouts, just listening to them and watching, and he's so strong and in great shape. And I really still believe that he banged his knee up some last year against Florida Atlantic and then played the rest of the year. And he looked like in some cases he was pressing so much that he wasn't patient to see the hole. And I think our fans are going to see a different Vondrell on Saturday. We're really impressed with his patience and his toughness and his conditioning.
Coach, how much of it is excitement right now amongst you and the team? How much of it is nerves? And what do you tell them at this point to try to focus on?
There's always a little anxious moment about the first game, because it's the unknowns, and even the unknowns for guys that have played a lot but they haven't played in 6 months. You're really unsure of the other team. They've got a new quarterback. They've got a new defensive coordinator. They've got two players that didn't play last year, a receiver that's a really good player that wasn't eligible, and then a young man that got hurt early. So just the unknowns of how the game will start, what happens, how you have to change it, all of those things are things that make you anxious. And at the same time, they're so tired of practice. And they've worked so hard since the Ohio State game in the off-season program about every day. They're working on their own if they're not with us. And then a real physical spring practice where they got after each other. And the seniors understand this is their last trip. So that's what they're looking forward to. I think anxious would be fair, excited would be fair, but they want to have some fun. And the games are fun. Practice is hard. So they're looking forward to a fun Saturday, and your young ones haven't played in this stadium. So there's a lot of guys, Garrett Gilbert being one, that'll walk out there for the first time ever in front of fans when he's dressed in a uniform. He's been here as a recruit. He's never been here in a football uniform.
Coach, can you compare how you feel right now to how you felt on the Monday of the first game week of your first year here in Texas?
Oh gosh, I probably had no clue the first game I was here. It's been 12 years, so I would think people kept asking me about what it's going to feel like to coach in this stadium for the first time, and I thought it's going to feel like a game I think we need to win. It was New Mexico State, and we won 66-33, and I think it was 33-0 at halftime, or 33-3, and then we fought our guts out the second half, and we were really good on offense, and everybody thought we took all of our defensive players out. We didn't. They scored 30 points the second half, and we were trying everything we could to stop them. And I remember walking off the field and said, boy, we better score a bunch of points this year if we're going to win any games. But it's fun to be in this stadium. It's fun to be around our fans, and the games are fun for me too.
Is the excitement similar?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't change. I thought after we won the national championship, the opening game the next year was, there wasn't as much build-up and all that, and I don't even remember who it was right now, but we were excited about it. I mean, you just couldn't wait to get back out there and get it going. And that's the thing about coaching and playing. I remember walking into the Alamo Bowl when we were playing Iowa, and we had 9 wins, Arizona State, the Holiday Bowl. And there's very little difference in your mind and your mentality when you walk out there as a coach or a player. You want to win the game, and that's all you've got that day. You've got that game, and you really don't worry about the previous one or the next one. You just worry about that one at that time.
Do you consider this the finest stadium down in the country now, with all the things they've done in the south end zone and with Newhouse Royal back there?
One of our boosters walked in the stadium with me this weekend and said, wow, we've always said we've got it, but now we do. And I would think that for us, we would think it's the best in the country. I think it would be fair because a lot of people think theirs is the best in the country, that if this isn't the best, it's even with the best.